Welcome to day number 4 of my Ancient Inheritance walkthrough. It's my hope that today we get off of floor number 2 and get on to floor number 3. The maps are really big this time around. I think a lot of guilds might struggle to get to floor number 4, so make sure you talk to your members and motivate them to move as quickly as possible and have a clear goal for your team. I'm going to continue along my pathing up to the Priest. Here's the map that shows the pathing that our guild's going to use. You're welcome to use this map. It'll be linked in the description, or you can make your own. There'll also be blank maps linked in the description. There'll also be a map of floor number 3, which hopefully we make it to today. As we're still on floor number 2, I don't recommend collecting the personal chests. The rewards just aren't worth it. I am going to grab the Soul Weaver statue, this EXP book, and use this tent to camp to get some provisions back. And move up here to this relic shrine. Now, before you collect a relic shrine, you always want to check to make sure you have room for a new relic. I do. As much as I'd like that food to explore or that 4-leaf clover to get better relics, I'm just having trouble passing up a wolf gauntlet. It gives me an extra boost to my warrior classes. I don't know, maybe the 4-leaf clover would have been better, but that's what I took. Made my warrior stronger, and that's right before a priest fight, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, something to note about the priest fights, its mechanics are the same on every single floor. So you can use the same teams on every single floor, it's just the difficulty of the fight scales. I've maxed out my soul weavers and my warriors, so I'm going to just keep these 7 class enhancements rather than spread them around. I'll use them for when I level up a little more. So we'll go ahead and do this fight. So we've started chipping them down a little bit, but we need to do more damage. I'm going to pick Sigret as my damage dealer. I think it's good to have a single DPS on these. You want your DPS to be able to do debuffs, and Sigret's great for that. I'll use Green Lots because he's a fantastic healer for this. He pushes everybody around and does a lot more healing than you'd expect. I'll use Camilla because she's got dual attack potential. I put Camilla on the Cradle of Life. You could also use Junkyard Dog. That will give you extra debuffs. Normally I would put Mediator Queric on Junkyard Dog, but I think with Sigret, I think I've got plenty of debuffs on board. Auxiliary Lots, regular Green Lots, you want to have on either Rod or Unfading Memories for extra healing. And my big goof of the day is I forgot to take Sigret off of Daydream Joker. You should put her on Portrait or Symbol. Daydream Joker doesn't work in the Priest fight, so she effectively is not wearing an artifact. Now, across the top bar you can see the boss has several purple skills. You can click on each skill and see what the boss is going to do when it takes a turn. And that's useful. You want to plan your attacks. The first thing the boss is going to do is just a round of poisons, and this is a trap. It's trying to get you to use your cleanse skill, and you don't want to. You want to sandbag your ability to cleanse, because the second attack the boss does is a defense break and passive seal, and you don't want to have defense breaks up while you're hurt. The third round is just a set of attack breaks. The fourth round is more poisons. The fifth round is the big one. The fifth round, he does an AoE attack that will do 100% defense penetration and almost guaranteed kill your whole team if he doesn't have 3 or more debuffs on him. And remember that bleeds and burns go off before he takes a turn. So if it's a bleed or a burn, you need to have a 2 stack of that, so it'll drop to 1 stack. 1 stacks will just disappear. That's why the Indestructible Gators is not that great of an artifact for this. If you get the 3 debuffs, you'll survive the big AoE splash. And then his next round, he'll have a counter attack buff on. You need to strip that counter attack buff, and that's where Mediator Queric comes in. He's got a strip on his S2. That round is far enough away. I'm going to go ahead and use the strip here to get that attack buff off, because I didn't take my own advice, I didn't save my cleanse, and now I'm getting hit pretty hard with these defense breaks. Since Camilla has an attack buff ready, I'm going to go ahead and push her to the front of the line because I would like to get a defense break.
That's refreshing. Stay calm and think rationally.
Here I go.
So I didn't get a defense break. Darn. Okay, so now I'm going to cleanse all of these debuffs away. There's No reason for them to stay on there. I'll get immunity, which will keep them from putting more debuffs on me.
Preparations are
Now we're up to that round. We're up to round 5 where I've got to have at least 2 debuffs on them to count. So I'm going to use Sigret's S2 because it stacks a lot of extra debuffs. I got a bleed and an unhealable ready to go. So I need 1 more debuff. So I'm going to try to get a defense break here. Okay, I didn't get the defense break, but that dual attack with Sigret gave me more bleed, so now I'm fine to pass through. I'm pushing Sigret because I need her to have the heal. I'll use her S3 to get extra damage. All those debuffs, she'll rip out a good chunk of damage. This attack would kill if it didn't have the debuffs, and there's the counter attack buff. Mediator Quirk strips that, and that paves the way for me to take this all the way to the last round. Because I didn't pay attention to my debuffs on that first round and I wasted my cleanse, I took a lot of extra damage, so people are pretty hurt, but the shields from Mediator Quirk help a lot.
You've got a long way to go, kid.
And there's the seal and the defense break. I'm going to burn this because I want that defense break this time. And I got it. Mediator Quirk's getting ready to take a turn, so I'm going to push Camilla again for the dual attack.
Here I go.
Remember, Camilla is a warrior, so she does significant damage on her own, so pushing Camilla for the dual attack is better than just pushing Sigret for a single attack in this. Ah, I lost Sigret. That's going to hurt the final score, but we're on the last round. The last round, the Priest will do an AoE attack that guarantee kills your team. There's no way to live through it. Even immortality will get stripped away, so there's no use to heal anymore. Just everybody S1s and drops damage. Probably should have done Camilla's S3 there, but that is the final fight with a score of 443k, which is not bad for the level of my warriors. I probably could have pushed a much higher score if I had gotten a defense break with Camilla early on. Maybe I should have soulburned her skill to guarantee that. But I'll take the second place spot. That's going to wrap it up for today. I do have provisions to do more fights, and I might do a couple of more fights as the day drags on if the Priest doesn't get killed, but with the entire guild getting ready to hit this thing, I think we'll be able to kill it off without me having to do multiple attacks. So I'm going to leave it here for now and use these provisions to explore a little bit of Floor 3 in the next video. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Check the description for the maps, and as always, like and subscribe.